Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 212A, it's the Tier 9 Soviet SPG, and we're located on the south spawn of Malinovka Encounter. And it's under the command of Thomas RAC, or Thomas Rack. And this battle has just started, so we're now seeing the battle underway. There was no countdown. So I guess that he loaded into the game very, very late, and he's backing into the bushes. Now the 212A can carry two different types of gun, the 152mm BR2 or the 203mm B4 howitzer. He's fired a round in, and that looks like it might have hit near the target, which was, I believe, a T49, and he's reloading. He's got a 32.71 second reload, and he is using the 203mm B4 howitzer. You can see he's relocating to a new firing position to avoid counter battery, and the T49 is coming back for another bite to spot, and we're lining up a shot, and rounds out. And he gets him splash, and he tracked the T49, tracked him on one side, and he spun round. Right, we've got some tanks up on the hill, and the new target's a Type 4 Heavy, who's trying to use the incline of the hill on the north side to avoid being spotted, but it's not worked for him because he has been seen. I think he's been seen by the tanks that are actually on top of the hill already. This time he's going for, well, there was a tank there, or was he 11114, and there's a VK 101P, fires the round in, can he get both of them? Well, he splashes both, 228 off the 101P, and 96 hit points off the Wizzy 11114. And of course he stunned them. Now the 212 was a proposal to build an SPG based on the available materials that were there at the time, but unfortunately it never got put into production. They were just too busy building tanks to actually put it together. Fires around at the VK, gets a hit directly on the rear of that VK. It's a very long reload for the B4 howitzer, so he's looking around to see where the shell would actually do the most damage and help his team. Unfortunately, we just lost our VK 101. Are we going to hit the Wizzy 114? Well, if he does, he'll take that tank out the game. Fires the round in, and all he does is track him and give him 10 hit points of splash. If he fired at the 53 ton, he might have got the kill. The GW Tiger did get the kill there, but the Lerva's got plenty of hit points, so's that 53 TP, but if we fire at that side of the windmill, we might actually damage our own 101P in the process. But it looks like he's going to give it a go. He's loaded. Rounds out. And it's a good hit. 381, long stun, which he's had to use his first aid kit on because he's facing the 101, and the 101 goes in there and finishes him off. That's good because now we seem to have control over the top of the hill, but not the second level. Aiming for the Lerva, only a few more seconds to go and we can shoot. The Lerva is going backwards and forwards about the same point, so he's worked out where it's going to be. Fires a round in and gets a direct hit. 378 this time, that's a good one. Okay, he's loaded. Round out on Type 4 Heavy. And it lands next door to him for 331. Now they're having some success. They are pushing them back both on the top level and on the second level as well. The enemy are having to retreat. A T-44 is missing. He might still... Yes, there he is. He was hiding behind the rock. And he's popped out and he just killed our T-54 first prototype. We're going for the T-26E4. Super Pershing rounds out. Direct hit. 424 hit points. That was a very useful shot, that one. It stunned him, so obviously his first aid kit must be on cooldown. That's why he can't recover the stun. And the T-44, well, he's not a splash kill because he's still got 505 hit points. But if we were to hit him, it would certainly prevent him from actually doing more damage. He just took out a Lerva. Trying to get a splash kill or direct hits. Rounds out. Oh, good kill! 121 hit points, gets the T-44. That tank did do a lot of damage. He managed to get at least one kill. And the Lerva's trying to make it back up onto the top of the hill. And we're getting requests for fire on him. The crosshairs above the tank. Oh, the Scorpion just took out our 50-ton. And in fact, actually, the enemy seems to be doing rather well on top of the hill now. We're going for the T-26E4. We're dialed in, rounds out. And that's a kill shot. Got him. That was 160 hit points. And he's moving closer, actually, which is quite unusual. Under the circumstances, the enemy appears now to have control of the hill. And yet he's actually trying to get closer. And the Lerva is coming down off the hill. He's using some of the wrecks to shoot behind now. And we're dialing in on that position. And it looks like somebody just fired a round in there and hit the target. He's ready to go. Rounds out. Lands next to the wreck. If the tank was still there, if the Lerva was still there, he must have damaged it. But we've lost sight of the enemy on top of the hill now. Now the good news is we've got two tanks in the far north. And... oh, well, we did have two. We've just lost one of them. Their Borsig managed to take out our LTTB. But the T-54 is still there and he can take out that T-44. We're loaded. We're going to go for the T-44. Rounds out. And that's a splash kill. 110 hit points. Now we can't hit the Borsig because he's hiding behind the church. And unfortunately, their GW Tiger just took out our T-54. So now we are at a disadvantage. It's 4 tanks versus 7. 4 versus 7. So we're almost outnumbered 2-1. And this is going to get increasingly difficult because the enemy are now starting to come in from the south. Got a Tiger behind us, a Tiger 2. And we're aiming for where the Lerva was last seen. And he spotted the Tiger 2. And he's turning to face him. This is not looking good. He's lining up the Tiger 2. Round out. Kill shot. 128 hit points. That's his 4th kill of the game. We're certainly doing well on kills, but they are still at a disadvantage. It's 6 versus 4 now. He's certainly hit a lot of the enemy. So far he's got 2,793 hit points of damage recorded, and there may be more damage that's not shown. And he's gone to counter battery because there's no other enemy in sight at the moment, so he's looking for the tracer from the enemy Arty. And that sometimes is very helpful if you switch off all visuals to look for the tracer because it shows up much better. Okay, spotted an enemy tank nearby. It's a Charioteer. It's in the dip. It's very difficult to shoot in the dip. Fires a round in and... oh, he got the kill! He came up out of the dip and of course that was his undoing. So he's got 5 kills. One more and he gets a Top Gun. We still haven't seen that Lerva. And he's been asked to platoon with an existing platoon. And that might be so that they have an advantage on score to complete a mission. Of course, he's not going to be able to get a Brothers in Arms because one of his team has just been wiped out. Okay, we've got the Lerva coming down the hill, lining up the shots. Round out. Direct hit, wipes him out. 307 hit points. That's the Top Gun. Okay, we've got the Scorpion coming down as well now. And it's just Udas between him and us. It's 2-1 again. Well, it's 2 versus 4 actually. Scorpion's coming down. Oh, is he going to get the Udas? Normally if you hit a Udas with anything powerful, it will wipe them out. We're lining up a shot on the Scorpion and round out. Kill shot! 569. Oh, the Udas was killed immediately afterwards by the GW Tiger on the enemy team. And now it's just, well, it's 3 against 1 now. The odds have changed again and they are now worse. Now the enemy has got 2 Arty and a tank destroyer, and the tank destroyer is a Rheinmetall Borsig and Waffenträger. Well, Waffenträger means gun carrier. He's trying to find a better position to fight from. Obviously the enemy is going to come down the hill because they knew where he was shooting from. There's one of the Arty. It's the M53, M55. He's on his way in. If he gets this kill, oh, he's got a hit in. He's picked up the high caliber, but he didn't kill the M53. And the M53 has got that turret, so he's able to take aim. Oh, he missed. Now the GW Tiger on the enemy team will be taking aim. Can he get a ram kill? Oh, he does. That's a Radley Walters. He managed to get a ram kill. And he's now running. The GW Tiger fired but missed. He needs to get away from that area because obviously now the Borsig knows where he is. And he's gone up against the edge of the map. He needs to make sure he doesn't do that because that will slow him down. And one of the enemy is capping, and I suspect that will be the Borsig. He's taking aim at the dip. If it is the GW Tiger, he'll probably go into the dip to avoid being spotted. He fires around in. Oh, he actually hits him! 13 hit points reduced, or cap points reduced. But the problem now is that the enemy won't stay in the same place twice. They will move. And whoever was in the cap has since left it. Now that might be the Borsig. It means the Borsig is on its way over here. Well, he's using the building for cover. Obviously believes that he's going to have to try and defend himself against a tank destroyer who's hiding in the bushes over there. There's the Borsig. He's coming in. Oh, he fires, but the Borsig is more accurate and he gets the shot in and he loses it. Oh dear. So it's a loss. But I think in defeat, it was an honourable defeat. He managed to get an ace tanker, Thomas Rack, 4. In the 212A, he also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 23 in that battle. He got a Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points to his own vehicle. He got a Radley Walters for getting at least 8 kills. He got 8 exactly. A Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. And the High Caliber for dealing the most damage in the battle. So let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he managed to get the highest damage, 4,416 hit points of damage overall. The next highest score was the M53, M55, who managed to get 2,909. Then came the GW Tiger on the enemy team with 2,896. And then the GW Tiger on his own team for 2,767. When it came to kills, obviously he got the highest number. He managed to get 8 in total. The highest that the enemy team could put forward was their GW Tiger. He managed to get 4. And then the M53, M55, who managed to get 3. When it came to base XP, he didn't get anywhere near the highest score. He was the highest score in his own team, 776. But the highest scorer was the Lerva on the enemy team. He managed to get 1,086. The M53 managed 959, the GW Tiger managed 922. The Borsig, who actually took his life at the end, only managed to get 589 base XP. So let's have a look at detail report. Well, he fired 20 rounds during that battle. He got 6 direct hits, 6 penetrations, and 13 splash. Very accurate shootings on some of it, but it was just unfortunate he wasn't able to stop the enemy conquering the hill. He did damage of 4,416 hit points, of which 3,838 were up more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit. It was from the Borsig, and it was a penetration. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle. That was the M53. He damaged 14 of the enemy. So he only didn't damage 1 of them, and I think that was the GW Tiger he never saw. But he killed 8 of the enemy. It's more than half of them. He did stun assistance damage of 1,009 hit points off 12 stuns, and he managed to get 13 defense points when he fired at the tank that was in the cap. That must have been the Borsig. On a standard account, he earned 32,755 credits, and he got the Achievements Award, which is for getting an epic medal in a losing battle of 3,672 credits. So after that, all of that, and he didn't have to pay for resupply of ammunition or consumables, he actually ended up with 36,427 credits, and he received 776 base XP, plus the Achievements Award again for 433 XP, and they got a personal reserves bonus of 1,209, so he took away 2,418 experience points altogether. But it was a good show. He did try very, very hard to win, tried to side scrape on that Borsig. He knew that it was the only way he could defend against it, really, but it just didn't work. The Borsig was bound to get him unless he was very, very, very careful and forced the Borsig to come around the corner to try and kill him. That probably would have been the easiest move rather than side scraping, because then it forces the Borsig to take a position where he can be seen either at long range or by coming around a corner, in which case you can hit him in the side. But it didn't work out, and in fact, actually, if he had tried to hide behind a building, I think the GW Tiger probably would have taken him out with splash. But it was a nice game all the same. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.